You're at a point now where you have finished knitting the short row heel, and as I said, it will actually change the direction of your knitting. If you're following along with the pattern that we're using for this lesson, you should have 12 stitches left, and we're ready to pick up stitches for the gusset. And let me show you on the example here. This is the heel flap. This was turning the heel. Now we're going to pick up stitches on both sides of the sock for the gusset so that we can continue knitting the foot. And let me show you what that looks like. Okay, remember I was just letting my cord hang here using my Addy Click needles. I'm actually going to need to reattach them now. Let me make sure I do this correctly. Okay. Handy things to have, these interchangeable needles. I encourage everyone to go buy a set. But it's hard to convince a new knitter to go spend that much money on a set of needles. They don't know they're going to need it yet. Okay, so using the same needle that you used to do the short row heel, we are going to pick up stitches along the side of the heel flap here. First thing I want you to do is to roll that so you are seeing the very most edge stitches, which are a whole V running up this way. You want to pick up 11 stitches along the side of the heel flap here. You put the needle in through both legs of the V, wrap it and pull it through. And I'll tell you, it should work out mathematically the way we had it so that 11 comes out every time, but it never does. I just had to skip one here to try to make it work. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and I skipped one, which is going to give me the opportunity to shove one stitch down in here where it doesn't really seem like it would go. But it will keep me from having a hole right here in my sock. The tighter I can get that in there. So I kind of grabbed one stitch out of nowhere. So we are going to do the magic loop trick here. We have the turning the heel stitches here and all those picked up stitches here. And we're going to shove the needles close together and pull the back one long. We're going to work across the inset stitches without doing anything fancy, just plain knitting. Okay, and then we're going to pick up 11 stitches on the other side. And you know something I forgot to tell you to do? Is to place a marker right here. But I have these awesome markers that come apart and go back together. Ta-da! Okay, so now I want you to place a marker before we start picking up these stitches, and using that same needle, grab one in there kind of tight to keep there from being a hole in your sock, and then pick up both legs of the V 11 times up the sock. Nine, 10, 11, perfect. Okay, now remember we had 12 stitches left in the center of the 12 stitches left after we turn the heel. We want to get back to the very center back of the heel here. So I'm going to knit half of those stitches onto the same needle I was just working. So 6, I'm going to knit 6 more off of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're at the center back of the heel. And that's what we want to be the new beginning of our round. We have our markers placed, and we want the center of the front to be where the cord pulls through, because that'll be exactly half on each side. So across the instep stitches, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, because there are 20 instep stitches, we're going to pull the cord long there. And now we have the cord set up like this. The center back of the heel is the new beginning of our round, and the cord pulls long here at the center of the instep stitches. Now for the rest of the gusset, you're going to knit up to the first marker, 3 stitches from the first marker, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit across the instep stitches, and of course you keep pulling your magic loop cord through each time. When you get to the second marker, you will knit 1, SSK, and knit to the end. The next row is a plain knit row, and you'll follow the pattern to get yourself back down to the original number of stitches, working a decrease round every other row, and it will look like this. Then you will knit the foot plain knitting, no shaping, nothing fancy, until the pattern tells you to stop and start doing toe shaping. And for the pattern that we're working here, that is 1.5 inches short. When you try the sock on, there's 1.5 inches of your big toe sticking out. And I'll see you back here for toe shaping.